Hello, I'm Elgato and welcome back to the video. So one of the things about the brand new version of Minecraft that just came out for the Xbox One and the Switch that encourages people to switch over is the brand new introduction of commands. However, commands seem like they're fairly weak on the surface, like why would I want to give people blocks or change inventories or change the spawn point? Like these things aren't that important to me and I don't really need commands, but the truth be told is there's a lot of value to learning these commands, and I figured the best way to prove that would be to show you 6 commands you probably don't know about that can really change your world, can really shape your world from scratch, and can really just change everything about how you're playing Minecraft, whether it's in creative or whether it's in like, this half survival, half creative thing where you're using cheats and commands. So in this video, I'll be showing you 6 commands that really change the Minecraft world and really change everything about your world in this video. Hopefully you do enjoy seeing them and learning about how they work. If you do like this video, you can like it and let me know because it helps out the channel and lets me know you do enjoy, command videos. I want to make more of these because lots of people have been asking me about commands. But first, let's just get straight into this one by talking about the very first command that changes the world, the first big one that relates to the fact that we're so high right now. We're at 195 on the Y coordinates, which means if we jump down, fun fact, any more than 20 blocks will kill you, so more than 100 blocks is guaranteed to kill you. But what if you use the /game rule command? So there's a command called /game rule, and you do it like this, and the game rule command can be used to a bunch of different things. You can see on the screen right now all your different things you can turn on or off. A command block out block, you can turn on the daylight cycle, you can change stuff like mobs, dropping loot and stuff like that. But one of the most interesting ones that I noticed was full damage. So if you go /game rule, and then full damage, just like this, all one word, just like that, and set this to false, then what you can do is you can make it so full damage in your entire Minecraft world for every player in that world is now turned off. So even though we're playing in survival right here, if we fall, let's say 100 and I think that's like 130 blocks, let's say, you fall all this distance, a guaranteed full, and it's just fine because you can turn off full damage. You can also, you might have noticed, you can turn off fire damage, you can turn off drowning damage, and you can essentially change everything about the Minecraft world just like this. Do you want to have so again, we can take this exact same command from before and we can be like, instead of how about full damage, we make it, drowning damage. And the reason this is a big deal is because, if we turn off drowning damage, then you can have everyone be underwater all the time. It's like everyone has a, permanent water potion, and it's water breathing potion, and it's kind of nuts that these all, massive effects can be changed like that, because most of these are just like, oh yeah, they're cheats from the old version, but some of these can change everything about how you have people interact with the world, and I think that's crazy. Like, look at that, I just jumped all the way off there, no full damage, and I think for some game modes, this might be valuable. But what's more valuable than just that is the fact that if we are in creative, I mean, you could do this in survival, but it's mostly for creative players, is the fact that you can use these /clone commands. So we'll do it in survival anyway, just because, it's kind of fun to show the power we have, even as a cat that has literally nothing besides golden carrots. Basically, as you can see right here, I've actually generated a forest by doing nothing but cloning the exact same blocks. You can just about spot it because of the weird edges of it, but this entire forest right here was created by just cloning the same chunk of forest over and over and over again. So you can see some obvious bits where the clone happens, like that big share over there matches this one over here, but as you walk through it, you can barely tell. It looks mostly like it's a normal thing until you see a few weird, like, chunks like that and stuff like this. But my point being is most of this forest looks like it's natural, despite the fact that it was generated in one giant clone. So how do you clone blocks in Minecraft? Use the /clone command. So the /clone command, it requires 3 sets of coordinates, so that's a very confusing thing. You got the first 3 sets of coordinates, which is where your clone should begin. The last 3 are where your clone should end, and then you have to set the destination for that to go. So all I recommend doing if you want to just clone a chunk, by the way, as you can see, like I struggled with this, and I actually built some flowing chunks. So there's one over there, messed that up, messed that one up too, and then messed that one up even more, because basically it's kind of tricky to work out what you're doing here. So let's show you with just something as simple as this, simple as this little planes right here, or yeah, just this thing right here. If we type that and then we go to our thing, this is just taking the 8 blocks on one side, the 8 blocks on another side, as well as all the blocks on the Y coordinates, and pushing it 16 blocks in front of me. So if I do this right now, then that lake that we just see right there, it goes forward some blocks and it ends up just over there. So as you can see, this is the exact same area, the exact same blocks everywhere. If we go into creative, which we'll actually do right now, I know I could use a command for that and that could change the world, but no, we'll just use this because it's faster. If we dig down anywhere in this area, it'll be the exact same blocks because the entire chunk has been copied. So if I dug down right here, then we go through some granite and then through some stone, etc. I mean, it's not the most convincing thing in the world, but if we do the exact same thing just over on this thing over here, so if we go 2 blocks over to here, I hope this is the exact same place, then we'll find some granite and then we'll find some stone, right? So where's the granite at? There's the granite /dirt, and then there's the stone. And my point being is that it copies the entire chunk. It copies everything you want, but you can also copy more wide areas and less specific areas if you just want to change the surface. So let's say you want to do, okay, so this is like a really tricky command, get going, so let's just do it right now. if you want to just take every block in your, z-axis, or let's just say you want to take this entire mountain right here. I figured this would be a mountain. It's kind of nice to look at. It goes from about 60 to 110. Let's try and copy this right now. So what you want to do is you want to take your command. We're going to go back to scratch, and we're going to work on our 3 sets coordinates, and we're going to copy an entire mountain, from scratch with this whole thing. So we'll go about, let's say, minus 10 blocks one direction. So again, doing this with just typing is kind of tricky, but we'll go from we'll go minus like 15 blocks one direction. Then we'll go, relatively like minus 15 blocks down, or maybe even deeper than minus 15, but let's do like minus 60 blocks down, and then you want to do negative 15 in the other direction. So you want to copy about 30 by 30 by 60 area. That might go slightly outside our realm, so we'll just do minus 10 on the other side, and then what we'll do is we'll copy that to the next set. So that's where we're starting our thing. That's somewhere down underneath the mountain. Now when it goes to the very top of the mountain on the other side, so we'll go relative, and then you want to go again. Let's just say 15. So 15, and then relative, let's say right here. So we're copying everything from 60 blocks below us to right over here, and then you want to do relative 10 blocks on the other side, because it's a wide mountain, not a big mountain, and then we want to pick a direction for this. So we'll do just relative 0, relative, so you want to be very careful when you pick this next one, relative minus 60, make sure it's the same as your other y coordinates, or it will float in the sky, and then we'll put this, like, let's say 100 blocks in front of us, something ridiculous like that, and you'll see this exact mountain we're standing on, so 100 blocks ahead of us, oh, we messed it up a little bit, 100 blocks ahead of us, we're going to have this exact same mountain. Oh, you can see there's a little bit of lag that comes in. We're taking so many blocks, but we just cloned this exact mountain, the one we're in, and we've taken it over to here, which looks kind of ridiculous when you see it. Like, this is this is a swamp biome. What's a mountain down there? But we have taken our mountain and we've cloned it exactly. We can do this. Now we've taken this command, by the way. If you just copy the exact same thing, you can clone these blocks and you can clone them anywhere you want. So let's say we want to clone this mountain right over there. It might go close to the swamp part actually. So let's be careful to preserve that. If you want to take like this kind of thick mountain right here, and we want to put it like into the swamp again, because putting mountains in swamps might be your hobby in Minecraft. Then you do that, it takes the 24,000 blocks. There's a serious number of blocks, and it clones it right over to there. So as you can see, that's how you can clone something as simple as mountain over from one place to another. It's kind of nutty, and it's so powerful, the fact that you can now copy parts of your world. Jeb says Minecraft isn't an editor, but I think this proves otherwise. So the /clone command, so powerful. But even more powerful than that, if you really want to find structures, this is most useful for videos and stuff like that, if you want to find a particular thing, or if you want to play around with it in creative, the /locate command. This came in with 1.12 for the PC. It's a very recent command for, 1.11 for the PC. It's a very recent command, if I'm not mistaken, and you can use it to locate any structure you want. So if you want to find a village, if you're like, I want to find where a village is, I think actually there's a village very close to me. It's at 40, 24. So we go this way to exactly 40 blocks this way, and then 24 on the other scale, and we'll find ourselves, if I'm not mistaken, just over here. Actually, wait, if it goes to 24, then we'll actually see about that. No, it does take you to exactly where the village well is over here. As you can see, we're now at roughly 4024, and as you can see, here is the village. So wait, this would be 4024 right here. We found ourselves the village using that command, but you can use it for anything you want to. So villages, you can find these pretty naturally. We found that swamp part too. What if you want to find the elusive wooden mansion? Wooden mansions are so rare on this version. All you have to do is type /locate. So let's just take that back. /locate and then mansion, I believe is what you have to type, and then you'll find the nearest mansion. If I'm not mistaken, our nearest mansion is like 10,000 blocks out. Yeah, it's 984 and then 10,060. We'll go there actually. So then you type /tp, you type @p, so @p, and then we're going to take ourselves over there. I think it was 10,000. We've lost it. Let's just hope we get there. I think it's 10,000 in one direction and a lot less than the other one. Or was it not? Which way around was it actually? It was it was minus 1,000 plus 10,000. So we type /tp and then @p. So here's how you do it. So you find those coordinates. We go to /tp and then we type me, because I'm @p, I'm the nearest player, and then we want to go to minus 1,000. That's a lot of blocks, but that's fine. Then we just go to like 100, let's say, because that doesn't matter. Minus 100 and then minus 1,000. And then 100, and then plus 10,000, I think it was like 800, right? So 10,800, we type that, and then we teleport ourselves to what should be near this wooden mansion. It said 10,000 680. So we'll see somewhere very nearby, just over there, we found a wooden mansion. This locate command can allow you to find a wooden mansion in any world. You don't have to do this thing where you're like, I'm gonna have to look up a seed with a wooden mansion somewhere near spawn because I need one. If you need one in creative, if you want to like play around with one, if you want to do a destruction project, or you want to like, you know, modify it, because it's really fun to modify these buildings, then you can do that. And all you have to do to make this happen, oh, we found a spider room. Look how rare that is. But all you have to do to make this happen is type /locate and you'll find your thing. So we're gonna go back right now, as simple as, I believe we're like right at the origins, like -0 for some reason. Can you do -0? Let's just go to 0, 100, and then 0. We'll go back to our world origin, roughly, somewhere near that village, I imagine. Yep, here we are. And as you can see, we took a trip to a wooden mansion 10,000 blocks away, and we ended up right back here. Obviously, everyone knows about the teleport command, but you didn't know about the locate command, perhaps, and you perhaps didn't know about the fill command. So I did this a bunch of videos. So if you're kind of tired of hearing about it, that's because it's just so amazing that you can do so many things with this that I think it's just kind of nuts. So if you want to do something like, again, over here you can see I made gravel fall from the sky. You can cover an area in gravel by just spawning it into the air by filling it with the /fill command. So the /fill command allows you to pick some coordinates. So this is like the clone command, but it's a lot more basic. All you have to do is pick like some start coordinates and some end coordinates, and then you want to pick the stuff in between. So in this case, we have to grab that relative command. So you need to find the tilde, which is this thing right here. We're gonna pick like just in front of us somewhere. Actually, let's make a giant column going like all the way into the sky. So if you want to fill like we'll go relatively like small. We'll go like 3 blocks in one direction. So then we'll go from actually let's just go from 0, so relative 3 blocks, then to -3, then from -3 blocks, and then you want to pick like, I don't know, relative 9 blocks in one direction, and then relative 100 and then relative 9. So we've got ourselves a 6x6 cube going 100 blocks in the sky, and now we can fill that with any block we want to, and it will just instantly happen. So if you want to have something like, you know what, I really like diamond blocks, or I really like brown glazed terracotta, or let's say like yellow glazed terracotta, right? Anything you want, you can fill a place with that. I think a better example might be something more like the piston, for instance, because the piston, I mean, it's really easy to type for one, but 2, we can just show how many pistons can you place in 20 seconds just by typing a command, and the answer is that many pistons is what you can place in that space. It's so ridiculous that we can just do that, and as you can see, it's super powerful. We just made a giant column, and this column goes all the way down. It's pistons all the way down if you want to, and it's kind of fun with something like pistons, because like, oh look how many pistons we have. That's kind of crazy, but you can do anything. You can make yourself a building area by using stone slabs in an area like this. If we want, we can again, we'll take that exact same command we just made, but what if we made it like, oh yeah, relative 10 or 15 instead, and then we make it out of cake. You can really change this, and you can do anything you want with it. So we just crashed our game. Okay, if you place too many cakes at once, it officially crashes your Minecraft game. No, wait, if you place too many cakes at once, it officially crashes the entire Xbox. So you can do anything you want with that command, but you can't place too many cakes. We've learned that lesson the hard way, and now we can't go back to the other one. So if we wanted to, though, we could place a bunch of building blocks, or we could place a bunch of pistons, or you can do anything you want to. You can just clone any block you like. So there you go. You can fill any block you like. And if you're curious as to how I got so many cauldrons, or after the big llama escapade, how I fixed that area, so like awkwardly and evenly, it's because I just filled it with dirt. And yeah, if you ever do have an area which is just destroyed by stuff, you can kind of cover it up easily with this command, which is nice. So as you can see, I mean, it's kind of rough around the edges because this isn't done, but everything besides this looks kind of wonderful. So if you want to do this also, you can do that like this. In fact, how about I show you right now, just very briefly, because there's a bunch of fun stuff like this. Let me show you. If you have something like, let's say, this mountain, and you want the mountain to look like it's actually just a huge plains biome, all you have to do is cover it. Well, I mean, the grass is going to look weird, but let's just say you want to just cover that. You can be like, I'm just going to fill from, negative. We're going to... Grabbing that tilt key is always a tricky one on the console. Again, if you're on a different platform, you can do this much faster, but you can just be like, negative, like, I don't know, 30 blocks to, it doesn't even matter, like, -1. Then from -30, and then we'll go to plus, I don't know, -90. I don't know, that's a lot of blocks. -3, or not even negative. We're just trying to speed through this, and then we fill this with dirt. Then as you're going to see, we can get this just giant thing covering everywhere, all around here, and it's going to look roughly That's over there. But if we use grass instead of dirt, at least, this will look like it's a plains biome instead. All you have to do is add some random blocks here and there, and it's going to look just about fine. So boom, just do that, but use grass instead. In fact, wait, if I go a few blocks this way, and then we replace the dirt from before, because that's a pretty big mess up. But yeah, you want to make sure you distinctly use grass if you want to do that. So it's grass underscore block, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's just grass, and then just like that. Oh, something just weird happened. But as you can see, we've got all that grass over there, and now it looks like we got a plains biome here. Look how natural this thing is, or at least it looks like there's no giant canyon in between, which might be something you kind of value. So let's move on to the next commands, which really change everything about your Minecraft world, and that is the /summon lightning command. This one's just the fun one, honestly. Like, whenever there's a big demo, like, showing cool things you can do in Minecraft, like, you know, the HoloLens demo, it always shows /summon lightning, and that's because summon lightning does a lot of powerful things. So, yeah, so you do that by just typing /summon and then lightning. You can set coordinates for this, or not summon lightning. You type /summon, you know, not like a moon, but like you're summoning something, and then you can pick all these different things. You can even pick XP orbs, by the way, which is weird to me, but we're going to pick lightning for today. Lightning underscore bolt, and if we pick that right there, so we go into the thing, because we also, again, I've got a chat pad which doesn't include like certain underscore things. I've got a whole video on why you need a keyboard. It's nice to have one, but you want to make sure you get all the things you need. So we'll do lightning underscore bolt, except it's all in caps for some reason. Whatever, it's fine. So lightning underscore bolt. So you can summon that, and then you can pick coordinates for it. So if you want it to be like relatively, you know, like let's just say relative 0, relative 0, but then you want it to be like a block in front of you, because otherwise it's going to spawn on you. Then you do it just like that, and now we can summon lightning just in front of us, just like that, as you can see. So this is pretty powerful, because if we have a pig in the way, okay, this is everyone's favorite thing, right? Then what we can do is you strike it with lightning, and suddenly you got a zombie pigman. That means that if you've got a villager in the way, guess what? You can, okay, the villager's going to run away. But if he does get hit by the lightning, just like this, there we go, he turns into a witch, which means if you have like a giant thing like this, you can have this like giant chain reaction. You can also set them all on fire, so we just got ourselves some cooked beef right there. We got ourselves 2 witches, some cooked beef, and a zombie pigman. But I think the most important one that everyone's probably forgets is the fact that if you go into your mob eggs and you can find yourself a creeper right here, then this is everyone's favorite one. If you've never seen this before, this is the most amazing like mob that everyone forgets about. But as you can see, charge creepers, and as you can see, charge creepers are now accessible just like this. So all you have to do is spark them just like that, and then we'll get ourselves, maybe there's no charge creepers on this version, I don't know. But anyway, that's a thing you can do on this version. But the two more important ones, I don't know what that's all about actually. I'm just discovering this right now. I was like, you know what, that'd be a cool surprise, but no charge creeper for me today. So we'll just, why no charge creeper? There we go, there's our charge creeper today. Apparently like it only charges for a second, you see him? He like uncharged. Whatever, so yeah, weird little thing regarding this version. But with that said, let's move on to the last command that can change everything. Let's say you spawned in too many creepers. Let's say you got like the automatic creeper spawner. I've made this mistake with llamas before. I had so many llamas that the world was stuck at 0.2 FPS, and I couldn't do anything about it. The game was just going too slow for me to even try and fix it. And let's say you did that with creepers, because you really want to get yourself a charged creeper, so you spawn in a bunch of them, and you get some charged-looking creepers, but it doesn't do anything. So what do you do about that? Look at my frame rate, it's going from like 55, we're going to go even lower than this in a second, like, oh no, it's now at, like, what is this, like somewhere in the 30s, oh, it's hurting a little bit more and more to play the game, because we just have too many darn creepers. Or let's say you have a command block set up, and the game's starting to hurt, but you just don't know what to do about this. You can't kill them all manually, can you? Well, all you have to do is type the /. Again, this is a command that will save your Minecraft world at some point, I'm sure, so it's not /lightning. I mean, that could probably help you, but you type /kill, and then you do @ again, so that @ and then you got a bunch of options. One of them is @ all entities, so you type /kill @e. This is a really basic thing you need to have memorized, because if you mess up, and you will mess up because it's too fun to spawn in ender dragons or creepers, then you just type that, and then you press X, or your chat command, and everything in your whole world dies. Everything that was an entity all gets killed all at once. All my armor stands that were just over here, they die. All my armor stands from over here, as you can see, they died. Every single entity in the world just all vanishes all at once. Apparently, banners don't count as entities, but armor stands do, mobs do, and all players, by the way, that are in survival mode, I didn't die because I'm, you know, like in creative, die as well. So it's a really powerful thing. Oh, look, because they were struck by lightning or something, it looks like we got some creeper heads too. So that's a nice little thing. Basically, that's a really powerful command. You got to be using it carefully though, because now my villagers, everything is just dead. Like, I probably, you know, this is a fun fun command, but there's so many like downsides to it. But I did it, and now you can do the same if you want to. If we spawn in a bunch more, and we get some armor stands as well, they won't all die every single time. Oh wow, do you see that in the chat? So it says just like there, just how many things have just happened. So that is the most like chat I've ever seen at once, actually. There's just so many things there. But that's why it's kind of dangerous to kill all the entities. But sometimes you have to, and the /kill ATI is going to save your life. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you learned something from it. These command videos always go on longer than normal, maybe because I've got to sit there being like, oh, /fill thing, because you want to be careful not to do stuff like that. You know, half the battle is knowing that the /clone command exists, half the battle is not doing that. Half the battle is knowing the /clone command exists, and then not covering your world in lag when you cover it in gravel. There's all these important things you got to bear in mind, but hopefully I taught you about 6 commands, and hopefully you're now a bit more in tune as why commands are a cool thing. And if you are, then like this video and let me know, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.